Hi there, and welcome to the Old Forest Cave up here in my local woods. My name is Bjorn, and I'm a historical novelist, and I live here in Norway. I'm going to do some videos, midweek videos, and I will call them my midweek musings, and they will be in addition to my Saturday Viking videos. So this is just me out here sharing my thoughts about things I care about. And yeah, as you can see, I'm in my more modern clothes, sitting here by my campfire. I used to do this a lot, so I hope you appreciate. I have my kettle. I'll find my kettle, by the way, and we'll boil up some water. I want to talk about broken men and scarred women. And I'll explain what I mean by that, but I think I have a shadow on my face here, so I'll just move to the other side of the campfire. Boiled water. I forgot whatever I was supposed to put in the boiled water. I don't drink coffee anymore, so or tea, but yeah, I'll have to figure something out. I was going to bring honey, but I forgot. So yeah, cheers. We'll wait a little bit with the boiled water. Yeah, broken men and scarred women. I think when I came up with that, it kind of, in my mind, it describes almost perfectly the culture that we have now, that we are living in now, in the Western Hemisphere, as they call it. The men are largely broken. The single men, they have given up hope. They have to be, what is it, 6 foot, 6-figure incomes, 6-pack abs. And driven by social media and dating apps and so on, it's the whole thing has inflated women's self-image and made a lot of young women, and maybe older women as well, quite entitled, self-entitled. So young people are not hooking up, they're not forming romantic relationships at the same rate as before. The birth rates are plummeting, and there's a lot of depression. We are talking about a loneliness epidemic, which is quite serious because it makes people unhappy, and of course, in a longer perspective, it's going to devastate our economies because there won't be enough people working to pay taxes to fund the pensions for older people and all of that. And if you're young, you maybe don't care about that, but you will get old too, So all of the women out there taking pride in not having children, yes, that's obviously your choice, but you will be forced to work until you die, if you're young now. So keep that in mind. When I say scarred women, what I mean by that is that it perfectly, encapsulates how many young women are these days. They are scarred. They have scars. And there are two aspects of that. there are mental scars, and the idea that men are no good and there are no good men left and all of that, which is wrong, but also it's a scar that they have gotten from their time doom scrolling, all these years doom scrolling and being brainwashed through social media and TV shows and the culture that we live in. It's a mental scar. But they also have scars when it comes to self-image. I believe that body dysmorphia is very, very common among women. Young women, older women. They have an image of themselves that is not healthy. And they want to get to a goal for their physical appearance that is not healthy either, if you get what I'm saying. Now, I used to work as a therapist many, many years ago. Well, not many, many years ago. I'm not that old. But I had, interestingly, quite a few female clients who were covered in tattoos and had lots of piercings and all of that. And some of them told me that they did that, and I did not ask, but they told me the same story. It was about covering up themselves because they did not like themselves the way they looked. It was a form of self-mutilation, used as kind of a therapy for themselves to make them feel something. It was a form of protest, and protest against whatever they felt was working against them. And interestingly, these tattoos and piercings were also used as a form of marking another step in life, moving on from something traumatic to something else. Scars. I mean, a tattoo is it is a scar in your skin. So I'm not saying that everyone who has a tattoo is mentally unhealthy. That's not what I'm saying. But I found it interesting that these women told me the same story. I don't have the solutions here. I'm just observing something that is going on in our culture with men and women. And I think that needs to change. I think that we need to get back to men taking pride in their masculinity, women taking pride in their femininity. We need to get back to the natural state of things where you form families. That's what you want. You want to have children normally, and we need to get back to that. I believe that most people are happiest when they have a tribe, so some close friends, a family around them. I do not believe that we are happiest when we live in solitude. And also I do not believe in the myth of the lone wolf, because I think that the people who are telling you that they are lone wolves, they are not lone wolves. They are using their smartphone to reach out to other people and to feel connected. So if you took the smartphone away from them, they would probably not feel as brave in their solitude. Skål. Some boiled water. But a lot of you guys have been asking about this. You know, where is the kettle? Where is the campfire coffee and all of that? And at least we have the kettle back and my old kuksa. Yeah, water is water. It's not so bad. Maybe I'm just a grumpy old guy, who don't like change, you know. I grew up in the 70s, can you believe that? Now, you're now supposed to write in the comments that no, you look a lot younger than that. But yeah, you know, the culture is always changing, and our perception of what's cool and what's not cool and how we're supposed to live and so on, it goes in waves. And I think that we have now been glorifying loneliness, not loneliness, but living on your own, you know, strong and independent and all of that. We have been glorifying that for a long time. And I think the pendulum will be swinging back. I do think that within a few years now, forming families will be the new cool thing to do, the new trend, if you will. At least that's what I hope. That's what I hope, and I want you guys to help me out here. And please write in the comments if you are living on your own, if you don't really have a family around you, why is that? And a majority of the people watching are men, so can you please let me know, what is it about women today that makes it more difficult to form romantic relationships? It should be easier than ever. People have these dating apps, and they swipe left or right. I don't know how it works, but it's a swiping back and forth and all of that. I get that those apps are designed to keep you on the apps, and I suppose that if you find someone, you won't be on the app anymore. So there's an incentive there for those app developers to make it so that you don't succeed, I guess. Yeah, but as I said, this is just me talking, largely unedited here out in the woods, and these will be my mid-week musings. Hope you enjoyed. Please click on one of the other videos that should pop up here on the end screen. Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Okay, bye bye.